Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the Unknown Emote.
I'm proud of you for
I'm your
remembering what
host,
episode
Amir.
it was.
Listen, man, it's been a while.
It has been.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been out of touch here, but we're back, bringing y'all the latest and greatest in our random bullshit that we talk about in MMOs that some of us may or may not want to actually play. Anywho, my co-hosts here are Doug, as usual.
Hello.
Trolling, as usual.
Hello.
And Lawrence.
It's been a while since I played.
Jesus. And I just said
MMOs
Doug
so
was trolling.
long. It's been a while.
This is why we don't
since
let
I
him talk.
Have done this
Exactly.
podcast.
This is
Right?
why we don't let him talk.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so, what's been up, gentlemen? Doug, what have you been up to over the last couple of weeks since we haven't recorded?
Football!
Football!
Florida State destroyed Clemson. I wanted to make that as loud as I possibly could so my Clemson girlfriend on the other side of the house would realize that her team is inferior in every way possible. I believe the score was 51-14 in Death Valley. Most points
They
ever
could not have
scored in
looked
Death Valley
more
in history.
Inferior in that game. They really could not have looked more inferior in that game. Sweet Jesus.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
The poor girl. What about you, Lawrence?
Nothing much. Just seeing a physical therapist because my left arm is not as strong as my right arm. But that's about it. Trying to get my health back under wraps.
That just made me think 100% of Trendamere.
For the most part, you know. I mean, it
My
happens.
right arm is much stronger than my left arm.
I know. Really, it's like, yeah, I mean, I used my right hand so much. I mean, my left hand just left out, you know?
Now you have to start evening out the way you flap.
That's
That's
exactly
probably what it
has
is.
to happen. I have to play the Stranger Knight, you know, every so often. So, you know, my left arm gets a little bit stronger.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm all right. What about you, Amir?
Much like Doug, I've been enjoying football. No matter what, my Ohio State Buckeyes tend to keep falling in the ranks, no matter who we beat. I understand that we have a weak schedule this year. It kind of sucks. As long as we stay in the top 4, I'm okay.
I hear your best game was against the Helen Keller School for the Deaf and Blind. I'm not quite
You're
sure
so
what they were
funny.
ranked when you played them, but
It's so funny. Outside of that, been away. I've visited Philadelphia and I've been working and playing a lot of League of Legends ranked games and getting trolled to shit because bronze is where the trolls live.
trust me, the trolls live in silver and gold also.
Oh, I know they live in silver and gold, but I felt like when I was in silver there were less trolls. Bronze is like everyone's trundle. That's how much trolls it is in bronze.
I'll let you know, I turned the game off today because the last game that I played, I had a 1-13 Wukong top.
Wow.
So yeah,
Jeez.
trust me, they're in silver also.
That said, I my last few games I've been carrying the shit out of people. Like, Jinx is the boss.
Jinx is
Most
so
people don't know how
broken
to
right
play Jinx. Most people just don't know how to play her. Because I wreck people who play Jinx. I have not lost a game against Jinx yet. But I know how to play Jinx, and it's been a blast playing her.
She is flat broken.
Yeah. You play support, so good on you. Because support is frustrating. Because
Yes.
your carry blames you for every fucking stupid thing that they do.
My favorite is that, because I play mostly Karma support right now, and I play Karma support because I can make plays if needed, and there are so
Right.
many times when my ADC just, like, gives up on an easy kill, and all I have to do is hit him with a Q from long range and pick up the kill, and all of a sudden everybody thinks I'm God, and I'm like, no, I just didn't give up. Like, that's all I did.
Oh, League of Legends. Oh, League of Legends.
So, this week we're going to be talking about EVE Online.
Amir's favorite game,
Which will be
everybody. Amir's favorite
Fun
game.
discussion for all folks involved here. So I'll let you take it from here, Doug.
Yeah, EVE Online is a sci-fi MMO. Basically, what I was hoping it would be like was a lot like Firefly, where you're the captain of your own ship. You fly around in the galaxy, you do missions, you follow different paths. Depending on what you want to do, you can kind of do almost anything, really and truly, in the game. The developer is CCP Games. They're responsible for games like Dust 15 or 514. Sorry, it's an FPS MMO on the PlayStation, and are currently in production introduction of World of Darkness, which is a supernatural horror MMO. This game was released in September of 2003 in North America and has received about 19 major patches since then. All of them have been free. So yeah, I know Amir is going to rip this thing apart, and I'm going to do my best to try to make it sound like it's a little bit good. So we'll start off with Larry on his initial thoughts and see what he thought of it all.
All right, my initial thoughts, to be honest, I was really surprised at how well this game kept up. I mean, this game is rather close to 10 years old, and I was really surprised at how nice it looked, and also I was really impressed at how good that they kind of immersed you in the world right away, going through and spending 20, 30 minutes making my character and picking my ship. There was a couple things that I really enjoyed about it, is how I immediately felt that I was in space and just how massive and big and expansive it is. I didn't play since release. When we were going over this 4 or 5 weeks ago, that was my first hands-on experience with the game, but I was pretty impressed with how quickly the game immersed you in the world and how you immediately knew how big and expansive the game world itself was. Other than that, I would say that other than a few minor things, which I kind of had hoped that they'd fixed in 9 years, I was very impressed with the game. What about you, Amir?
I have some of the same initial feelings you had about the game. Like the whole scope of the world and things of that nature seemed interesting, and it seemed like it would be a good draw to the game. So that kind of made me want to play this a little bit. I was kind of like iffy about it, but going to the first few minutes, that's kind of what I felt about it. And the character creation was pretty good, but yeah, I'll expand more on my feelings after that. But I really did. I liked the scope of space. It seemed gigantic. Go ahead, Doug.
I pretty much have the same initial thoughts to it. I never picked up the game. I didn't play in release. We pretty much only downloaded it for the podcast itself.
Yep.
But when I got into it, like I said on whatever episode it was when we mentioned we were going to do this, I really wanted the whole Firefly type expectation from the game. And I wasn't really let down. You really can go around and do anything. You can go around and be a trader. You can go around and be a banker. You can go around and be an explorer. You can do a lot of different options with it. But to me, the game just was slow, for lack of a better term to it. I honestly think had I gotten into a game like this, to where it would have been a little faster paced and everything actually moved at a relatively quick speed to where you didn't feel like you're sitting around not doing anything for a while, I would have a ton of fun with it, because I was having a lot of fun with this game. It's just, I couldn't get past some of the other things I'll talk about later on in the dislikes. So going into what we did like about that, making the easy transition, let's go back to Larry to start us off. I know probably what he's going to talk about because it was already part of his initials, but we'll see.
My really big like about the game was just how I really did feel like I was in space, or rather just how immersive and big the world felt. A lot of MMOs that I've played in the past have really felt that you're just so part of so many other people. You spawn and there's 100 other people trying to do all these other quests, where I did feel that EVE Online, when I logged in and I launched my ship and everything going on, that I did feel that I was very, very small in retrospect to the world as a whole. I would say that I really did like that, because I said, okay, this is how space should be, and I was really immersed in the world and kind of floating around, and I didn't really feel that anything that I did was really, really small. I played a few other games like EV Override by a company named Maelstrom, and I really did kind of have some nostalgia from it, so it kind of kept me involved in the game itself. So I really did like it for that aspect. It was just some of the other things when we get to the dislikes that kind of made me, or rather hamper from what I was playing, but I really did like how expansive and how polished it felt, and also at the same time how the game kind of felt upkept from 2003. As again, this game is close to 10 years old, but I didn't feel like this game aged like some other games like Warhammer had aged poorly, but I did feel this game had aged very, very well. So moving on to Amir, what would you like from this game?
I like the character creation. That's pretty much all I have. Now, the beginning tutorial was thorough. I would say that. I do feel like I share some of your feelings about the expansiveness of it, but I think that could be it. It's almost expansive to a fault, because there's so much that it could be overwhelming to a new player in this game. And that's something I've heard from other people, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just may turn some people off of the game. Yeah, I didn't really get into this game as much as I wanted to. I just couldn't. And I will go into my dislikes later on, but this wasn't one for me. I'm being nice right now. Doug, what about you?
The character creation was really fun for me. Once I got into the game and got past the tutorial, which was, again, is my overriding theme on what I didn't like about this game, slow and amongst itself. But once I got past all that and got into upgrading my ship and finding all the different things and buying things and taking on secondary missions and looking into what part of the world I wanted to go into and what I wanted to end up being my specialization and my craft, I started really enjoying it past that point. I almost made the decision to put the slowness past me, and that should be a tell on how good this game actually is. Once you get past the downfalls to it, if you can be a patient person, is that even though I am a very impatient person in a lot of things, I still almost logged on and to continue playing the game because the gameplay itself was rather fun. I just can't get over the pacing. That's my one big thing that I'm going to have to go in depth into. But beautiful game. It ran very smoothly on my computer. Like Larry said, it has been very well kept. It just one little flaw. One big flaw. And this game would be actually very fun and enjoyable. So let's uncan the worms here, and let's let Amir start off on what he disliked about the game.
Yes.
All right. So as Doug has said a few times so far, the pacing of this game. My God, it is gouge your eyes out fucking slow. If I wanted to play a goddamn chess match, I would rather have a faster paced match at chess than I would in this game. It literally felt like you took forever to do any single thing in this game. Hey, I want to go fly to a place. Well, here's 15 minutes of traveling across space to get to where you want to go. And this little fucking ship that looks like a turd flying through the sky. I was bored out of my fucking mind. I get to my first area for a mission. Everyone has to talk and blah, 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 and expand on what you need to be doing. The tutorial was so goddamn slow. Oh my God. If the pacing of this game was just a bit faster and I felt like I was actually getting something accomplished in the game, I would have probably been a little bit more engaged in it. But it's like, here's a 20-minute tutorial. Now here's 20 minutes flying across space to your next mission. Now here's 20 minutes flying to the next place. All right, here's some other menus so you can read, so you can learn, because there's 60 billion menus in this fucking game. You're just clicking around. You're like, oh, what does this do? Oh, I'm just blowing myself up or some shit right now. Like, where's the red button? Like, it was too much. Way too fucking much. And I don't see how people play this game. Like, I would rather, like, read a book. Or
read a book?
Yeah, give me War and Peace or some shit.
War and Peace? Wow.
I was bored out of my mind. Like, this may be for some people. I just don't have the patience for something like this. Like, the games I play, I like to be fast-paced. If you know my history of gaming, I played fast-paced first-person shooters, Quakes, the Unreals and shit like that. I like Twitch. I like moving. This game is not play to that for me at all. Like, and I just couldn't deal with it. Like, I have a 15-minute rule in games, and another one of my friends is like this too. In 15 minutes, you have to draw me into the game. That's all you have. And that's the way a lot of people are about, not just games, but media in general, movies, all kinds of shit. If you have 15 minutes to get me into this and make me want to play, and this game did not do it in like an hour. So I was done. I never want to see this game again. It's already been deleted off my computer.
Oh, goodness.
Go ahead, Doug.
Pretty much just have to follow up on what Amir said. The pacing is the downfall of this game. When I went through the tutorial, I was like, okay, this is incredibly slow, but I have other things I can be doing here on my computer while I'm doing it, and just kind of switch back and forth between the two. So I got through the tutorial, and I was like, all right, time to go out there, because my thing is exploring. So, of course, I picked up the exploring little profession and was gonna go discover the new worlds and go find things and boo and send out probes, and that, to me, that is like masturbating. I love exploration in MMOs. I don't understand why. It makes no sense.
Probing and masturbating.
That's
like,
effectively
really?
what it boils down to.
You still haven't played Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, well, Guild Wars 2, that's we'll get into that later. That costs money. That's the big reason why I haven't played that. But to me, this was amazing. I had all of space to go out and explore. I could go bounce around and everything. But God damn it if it doesn't take me an hour and a half to get anywhere I wanted to go. When I got done with the tutorial and picked up my little thing, it told me to go out to this one place, and I was like, okay, well, the tutorial took me like 30 to 45 minutes to finish, so I gotta give myself a little bit of time. So I set my little guy on autopilot so he would go off on his own little thing. I went and cooked myself some lunch. Came back to my computer. I was still pretty far away, and I'm like, okay, well, I got food, so I'm gonna go eat. So I went out in the living room, ate my food, another 10 minutes or so passed, came back. I still hadn't reached the first checkpoint, so I'm like, okay. So let's figure out what I can do now. So I went and used the restroom, I turned on and started watching TV. On the commercial break, I paused my DVR, came back in. I had just reached the first checkpoint, and that was the point to where I was like, God damn it, this game is taking forever. So that's when it really lost me, is the scope of it. I understand space is supposed to be big, and if you don't make it to where it feels big, and the only way you can make it feel big is by increasing travel times, I understand that, but you gotta do something. It's like playing a spreadsheet. There are a lot of numbers, there are a lot of things to maximize, there's a lot of things to do, but it's boring and very, very slow. One of our podcast listeners kept trying to convince me, oh, well, the PvP is really fun, which I tried the PvP, and what the PvP and even the PvE involved when you were trying to kill somebody is walk onto this ship, click this one button that says attack, and then you have a 30-minute battle where the two ships are spinning around each other, pew-pewing at each other every now and then, and you hope you win. Like, that was my impression of the PvP. So I don't know. I really love the exploration part. Like I said, that is gold for me. That is everything I live for in MMOs. Like, the rest of the MMO is fun as long as I can stab and kill people and troll as much as I want to, but exploration is what makes me play these large scale games. So I don't know. There were, like I said in my positives, I could see myself playing this game if it was faster paced. How about you, Larry?
I would completely agree with both of you to kind of chime in. The issue I had was you go through and you click on something and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and there's just no thing you can do in between there. It's like, okay, maybe a mini game will pull up or something else, but nope. You were literally watching your screen as your ship just kind of floats and floats and floats, and you're kind of like, is this gonna pick up at all? And it just never did for me. Granted, I only played the game for 2 to 5 hours, that I didn't get into it as much as, say, somebody else that may have played 40 or 50 plus hours, but there was just not enough to keep me there, to keep me invested. The other part of it that I really didn't like was how that if I died, I died. Unlike Diablo, where you have hardcore mode and non-hardcore mode, that if somebody were to literally troll me like Doug and kill my character, I was done, and I had to pay a fee of real money to make that happen, to respawn my character. Granted, I was kind of used to that with EV Override and a few other games that were very, very similar, but at the same time, I really did feel like this game that kind of borrowed some things from games like EV Override. If they could have just cut down on the traveling, I really do feel like a lot of more people would have picked up on this game, because the traveling in between zones, or in between worlds rather, just took so long. It was just so hard to pay attention, and that was really my biggest thing, is that I'm going through, I'm trying to pick up missions and pick up secondary missions, but the travel between worlds just took so long, whereas in other games, like, again, sorry to reference back to EV Override, because basically this game is a kind of a carbon copy of that game. You sit there, and in EV Override, you click, okay, I'm going to go from world A to world B, and you're there in a couple seconds. For this game, it's like you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. You're like, okay, I can go do laundry. I can go update my Facebook and my Twitter and go look at YouTube comments and a couple other things.
I'm about to go write a novel.
Yeah.
This is what it felt like. I can go write a novel. I could go do like 30,000 productive things in my house before I actually can accomplish one productive thing in this game. No, I'm not patient enough for that. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe you stick this on like a secondary computer with its own tiny little monitor, and you play League of Legends while you're...
If this was something I could play on like my phone, maybe I would be more interested.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, like, I could be patient. Oh, it's going to take you 30 minutes to fly to your next mission. Oh, well, I'm going to go do something else anyway while this is flying around. But not while I'm supposed to be sitting in front of my computer actually enjoying myself. it wasn't there for me, and I was really frustrated because it wasn't.
Yep, I definitely felt like I could be doing other things like, I don't know, making babies or something. Something that's good.
If I had homework, that's it. If I had homework, this would be the perfect MMO.
Something that's going to take up a lot of your time.
I'm fairly certain that's what it is. If you have homework to do, you have something you legitimately have to do but want a quick break every now and then, this is a good MMO for you.
But if you actually want to be playing your MMO, well, you may want to reconsider.
All right. So we're going to our overall impressions. Let's start with Doug. What were your overall impressions of this game?
Beautiful game. Beautiful game. I love the way they did the space. I love the way they made everything look. I love the customization and the different types of ships and everything that was going around. The different hubs had ships flying about. Everything looked fantastic. The customization was great. The overall idea behind the game was great. Just way too little to be doing to be a sit down and play type of game. So that's my quick and easy impression overall. Some people like it. We have a podcaster who flat loves this game, and anything we say bad about it, he tries to refute it.
Right.
Yeah, and I can't blame him for it. It may be the game for him. There are definitely the spots to where I can say, yes, I could see myself playing this game if I was a different type of person.
Yeah.
But I am not that different type of person. So, let's flip it over to Larry.
You like progression? This is a great MMO for you if you want to sit there and see development. But if you want something fast-paced and you want something to where you can jump in and really get into it, this is not for you because you'll be waiting for a long time for things to happen. This is not one of those games like Neverwinter or Warhammer or some of the other games we played, even though Warhammer specifically was terrible. There's not enough going on for you to really jump into because the starter area, there just isn't enough people. And also when you're trying to do missions, it's not like other MMOs where you jump in and you're like, oh yeah, I see somebody else doing this thing. Let me see if I can send a part of it. There's nothing like that in this game that I've seen. Granted, I've only played 2 to 5 hours of this game. There just isn't anything to keep me involved to where I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go do this, or there's a public quest here, or there's an event here, or anything like that, because it's literally lots of time spending, okay, I click here, and then I wait to jump from world A to world B. All right, we go here, drop this thing off, and then, all right, we're going to pick up another thing and go from world A to world B again. It's very repetitive. The things that I really liked about it was the expansiveness and just how massive it felt. I really do feel they really did land that, but at the same time, I don't feel that they really did land kind of how to speed it up. It's definitely for people that are really patient, which is not my virtue. Really patient. I kind of do feel like it's one of those things that if they could port it over to a cell phone, that would be wonderful, to where I could execute my ship going from point A to point B without me watching it. That would be wonderful. And I do really, give my hat off to that they've come out with so many expansions, because the substantial fan base is there that really does like this game, and they're not going to go to another MMO. But at the same time, I do kind of scratch my head and wonder, what the fuck are you doing playing this game when there's so many other MMOs that are so much better than this? Because again, people that'll sit there and say, oh yeah, there's some real life practicality to this game, because if your character dies, I have to spend real money to reincarnate my character. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to wonder if I die that I have to spend real money to reincarnate my character, and at the same time then have to wait for 30 minutes plus to reincarnate my character. I want to get in and make things happen, which this game does not have at all. Granted, I didn't play any of the end game or anything like that. I just didn't see anything that would keep me involved other than the feeling like I'm Han Solo going around doing the Kessel Run or anything like that, and there just wasn't anything like that to keep me involved at all. Similar to EV Override or some of the other games that I played that were just like this, where going from world to world to world, completing quests and getting bigger and better ships. There just wasn't something that kept me involved long enough to want me to continue to dump time into this game like other games. I mean, I would literally play Rift, which I didn't really like that much, but I would play Rift way more than this game, or even Warhammer, which is a game that's going away. I know. I would play Warhammer more so than this game, just because I felt like Warhammer was at least more fast-paced in this game to get me in this game.
I would
play this game over Warhammer.
I would actually play Warhammer over this game. Because I would have felt like I was actually doing something on Warhammer.
I couldn't bring myself to ever log on to Warhammer ever again. ever.
Like, who would have thought there'd been a game out there that'd make me want to play Warhammer over it?
A game that's shutting down in December. Yeah, we know.
Right. Yeah, I could not see myself playing this game at all, like, ever. I don't have it in me. I don't have the patience. And maybe for someone who is super patient, like I said, could play this. But I mean, when I say super patient, I mean you have to have a shit ton of fucking patience. Like, I don't see how you can get to the end game of this game because the beginning part of it is so slow. And the worst part is people tell me it used to be slower than it is right now. Why? Why would you even want to play at that point? Like, maybe if I was like 14, I didn't have any responsibilities.
Maybe if you are a priestess of the closed eyes. So,
like, I'm
so
trying to think.
For our one podcast fan who is an EVE Online fan, I got your back, bro. This game is not better or not worse than Warhammer. There is nothing. No. Warhammer is much worse.
Maybe because he's a priest of the closed eyes, so his vagina is closed and it's locked down, and it's okay to be patient.
Maybe that's what it is, because this ain't cutting it. And like you said, some people enjoy it. I guess that I'm not hardcore enough for this one. That's what I was told.
Yep,
I need to be
I'm
more
right in the same boat.
hardcore.
Because
I would rather watch squirrels have an orgy in like standard definition or 1980s squibbly porn kind of feed over ever logging on and playing Warhammer again.
Wow. Well, damn.
And if anybody can provide me with video of that, I would be much appreciative. I know that somewhere on the internet that has to exist because everything exists on the internet.
It exists.
It does.
Rule 34 and
Different
Rule
strokes
35,
for
dude.
folks.
The same as internet rules. So yeah, if you are interested in playing this game, as far as my rating is, don't. Find something else to do. Like, clean your house. You know, like, your bathroom probably needs to be cleaned. You probably got laundry you need to do. You want to build that shelf? You'll probably be more productive building that shelf that you've been talking about for a long time than playing this game. Or you can build your shelf while you play this game, and you'll probably get your shelf done before you actually do something in this game.
Your argument against you and say this is the perfect game to play if you want to get something done around the house, because you can click on something, say autopilot, take me there, and then you got 30 minutes to go fucking build a shelf or masturbate or clean your laundry or whatever you do. You could even use one of those old washboards and like just a tub of soapy water, and you would still have plenty of time to come back and play the game before missing anything out. So if you got things to do, this is it's a beautiful game to play if you've got something else you can do.
Yeah, to distract you while you're not doing anything playing this game.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right. So next week we have looks like Lord of the Rings Online on the docket.
Ballin'.
Silly hobbitses.
How are we feeling about this one? I'm actually kind of hyped to play Lord of the Rings Online.
Me too.
I have it installed on my computer. I know that much
So
about
you
it.
have it installed? Sweet. I already have it installed too.
I have it installed on my
I
computer.
played around with it a little bit. Not too much. But yeah, this is a game that I would actually be... It looks like something that'd be appealing to me. I'll put it like that.
Yes, if anybody in our audience wants to play with us, we'll play in on Brandywine. So by all means, join up.
Brandywine.
I would say, what?
I said Brandywine.
Yep, Brandywine. I'll be playing as Law Boyd. I don't know what Amir and Doug will be playing as, but that'll be my character. Look us up.
I had to take a stab at it, probably the Jawa.
And I will probably be Sweet Aru.
Oh, sweet. I put a bunch of time in this game, so I'm kind of excited because the new expansion is coming out in less than a month. I was kind of disappointed that their new update didn't readjust their talent trees because their talent trees are pretty bad. But other than that, I'm really excited to be playing this with everybody. So
yeah, I don't think I'll be bored playing this. At the very least, I have stuff to do.
I'm very excited to be playing Hearthstone.
Well, you know what? You're gonna make me play Hearthstone. I hate you.
Hush!
Lots and lots of Hearthstone.
I got a beta invite now. I've not even installed it. I just looked at it.
You are a disgrace to all human beings. This game is incredibly fun.
I'm not a big card game fan. I haven't really done that since Pokemon.
Yeah, but you've done Pokemon,
Yeah,
so
I've
this
done
game
Pokemon.
will be
Pokemon was
like
the shit.
It was.
Yeah, this is pretty much the shit. This is better than any card game I've ever
Alright,
played before.
Doug. Alright. Shit.
Play Hearthstone. If not, give me the beta key so I can get my girlfriend to play because I'm fairly sure
already
she
nice
likes
to my
No.
account now.
You give me the beta key for the podcast. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I'll get another beta key, but if I was to get a beta key, I would give it to you.
I appreciate that. Right there in my heart.
Aw. So cute.
Alright then. So with that, I think that's about it. I hope to never see this fucking game again. Don't put it on our fucking timeline or anything. You can talk about it a little bit once we actually make the post. And after that, let this shit die. I'm done with it.
GTFO, motherfuckers.
Just like we're done with Warhammer. I don't want to bring that shit back up again. I brought it up today just to like show you how much I loathe playing this game because I was.
You brought it up
bored.
to destroy my soul, is what you did.
Well, you didn't have much of a soul anyway, so.
What little soul I have left, you have now destroyed because you brought up
I
Warhammer.
feel so bad right now. Can't you tell?
I'm sure you do.
You hear all the sympathy in my voice.
You feel bad, and that's all that matters.
All right, so we will be back on our regular schedule up until I leave for BlizzCon, which I will not be here in 2 weeks. Sorry, folks.
Go figure, Amir causing all the problems again.
I'm causing
yeah.
all the problems by actually attending a gaming convention about one of the biggest the biggest MMO ever. Sorry.
It's about Hearthstone now. I hate to break it to you. That's what this our BlizzCon's going to be about.
Oh, I get to play Hearthstone at BlizzCon too.
It'll be about Heroes of the Storm too, because that's Blizzard's new IP.
We'll see.
But that's okay.
New Diablo. Yeah.
Oh, I hope so. I really do
I hope
so.
to get some hands-on with it. I'm sure I will.
I will literally cry tears to masturbate if that's what happens, because I want to play my Crusader so bad right now, but that's okay.
This kid's like level 18 in Diablo 3.
Seriously?
He's like creaming
No,
himself
no,
for
no, no,
level
no.
18
I have
Diablo
other
3.
characters. Don't get it twisted. The level 18 character I have is to play my brother-in-law, Kale, who will be in the next episode of our playthrough video. But other than that, I've got some other characters.
Fair enough.
Let's not
What's
get
your
twisted,
highest level
Doug.
character?
Not as high as you. It's like 43.
Yeah,
so-
this game's been around for like a year and a half, and you're just now getting excited about it.
It's an expansion. I mean, other than playing through the first 4 acts, there's not like a big thing for me to continue to play, Hell mode and Inferno mode, all that good stuff.
Kind of like
But-
Paragon level 6.
Yeah. Yeah, last night we were playing with Doug, and Doug's just like one shot and everything. I'm like, oh, this is not very fun. All right.
It actually was pretty fun because I was getting some massive kill streaks going, which was rather fun for me, but I'm sure not so fun for you.
It's all good. I do plan to get a level 60 character before the new expansion comes out. So
When you get on
I
my
like
level,
walk into
I'll play.
a huge group of minions, and I'm like, Locust Swarm, everything dies. You killed 40 minions at once. Ha ha ha.
that is indeed what happened.
Fucking
I
witch
will
doctors.
admit that. Yep, exactly. That's why I haven't made one.
That's all right. I just leap in and I'll whirlwind, and then all of the things die. Yep. With that, we will let you folks go. We will see y'all next week, and we'll be playing some Lord of the Rings online. Good night,
And
everybody.
we will do what we can to stop Larry from ever singing again in the beginning of the episode.
Listen,
Please.
It won't happen.
Please never
It
again.
won't happen.
There's only so much we can do about that. And the worst part is, I don't edit the podcast, so it's gonna stay. Otherwise, I'd have just edited it out.
All right, don't forget to check us out on our playthrough series. We'll be playing, continue to play Diablo 2. We
Yup.
made it through Act 2 right now. Well, up to Act 2, rather.
Up to Act 2.
So please do give us suggestions if you want to see us play another hack and slash game or another multiplayer game that Amir and Doug and I can play, or some other people. And by all means, check us out on the UnknownEmote Facebook. Like and subscribe and hit us up. Check us out on Twitter. Granted, my Twitter is full of posts about sports, so ignore that. Follow me, but definitely follow Amir at madcast_prince and Doug at the Jawa. So hit us up. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We're up for suggestions, but by all means.
We love you.
Oh gosh, that's creepy.
Way to make it creepy.